But there's one thing I want to say first. What's that? Ark, I love you. Please don't forget that. And with those parting words, she turns away. I'm left to stare at her back as she heads home. All I wanted was to see her again, and now it may be a long time before I get the chance to talk to her again. Okay, well, again, I don't really know how this is gonna result in a good ending, but okay. The shelves, they call to me. Feed me, they say as they stand empty. What the fuck? But I, the master, remain unmoved. Nay, unshaken. As I fiddle with the pen in my hands, I ignore the plea of the shelves, lost in thought. I'm off in my own world, a world where I have as much time to spend with Natsuki as I want. Scenes from the past replay in my mind as I run through all the different choices I could have made. But of course, every passing customer pulls me back to reality. Here I am, standing amidst tins of red bean paste and bags of rice crackers. Anyway, from the literature club, away from my friends, and away from Natsuki. I don't even know how long it's been since I've seen her. Weeks? Months? The only person I've had time to catch up with has been Sayori, but that's not much of a surprise. After all, she lives next door. I'd have to actively try to avoid her to never see her. Although I say that, she's really been going out of her way to walk me to school. She even started coming around to hang out more whenever I finished work early. According to her, Natsuki has barely been attending the club herself because of how much she's been working. I wonder if anyone else has been checking up on Natsuki. It definitely gave me solace that Sayori cares enough to always make sure I'm feeling alright, so I hope Natsuki has someone like her. Well, I guess Sayori was the one who introduced me to the literature club, so it's no wonder that she wants to make sure I'm keeping up with my social life. Man, she's still the same after all these years. Always trying to brighten everyone's day. I should really do more for her, especially since she's one of the few people keeping me sane nowadays. I wish I was with it was the whole club. Sighing, I get out from behind the counter and start stocking. Today's been dead anyway. I'm not too concerned. There's only a couple minutes left of my shift before we close, so it's not much of a problem. By the time I finish stacking the shelves and helping a customer that came in the last moment, it's closing time. I knock on the office door and let the boss know that I'm finished and that I'll see him tomorrow. He waves me off, smiling as I go. Time to go get some sleep. Can't even be bothered reheating leftovers for dinner. Huh? As I step outside the store, I see a familiar figure leaning on a post. Monika? Yes, that's my name, don't wear it out. She waves, walking toward me. She's wearing a faint smile. Smug as always, I see. How have you been? It's been, what, 2 weeks? A month and a half. Ah, wait. That means exams are next week. I can see the faint smile grow as Monika sees me panic. I'm guessing you haven't had time to study. Yeah, not really. Between work and school, free time is a thing of the past. So what brings you by? I straighten my clothes and offer her to walk with me. I wanted to catch up. To be honest, it's been far too long. Ain't that the truth? Wait. Did I just use ain't to the president of the literature club? Monika chuckles. Looks like she finds it mildly funny at least. I bring us to a stop at a vending machine. The coin I insert jangles merrily as it clanks through the machine. After a moment, a can drops. I can see Monika raising an eyebrow from the corner of my eye. I offer the can to Monika. Black double espresso? There's no milk in anything in that. I don't remember you drinking coffee, let alone something that strong. That's why it's for you. What makes you think I'll drink it? Just a hunch, but I think I've known you long enough to know. Monika smiles. You know me always too well then, Mark, thank you. Don't mention it, so tell me, Monika, what can I help you with? You wouldn't come all this way just to say hello, as much as I know you would appreciate I would appreciate the thought. Too well indeed. Careful, if you start noticing too much about me, a little someone might get jealous. She's grinning at me now, nudging my arm as we start to walk once again. As she does so, she cracks open the can and takes a sip. I cut up a smile as she brings the can back down. I can tell from her expression that I made the perfect choice for her drink. It also reminds me of a conversation I had with Natsuki several months ago. I have to tell her next time I get the chance. If I get the chance, I suppose. Oh, that's alright. I hesitate. I probably shouldn't bring up the fact that we're on a break at the moment, now that I think about it. Unfortunately, as I hesitate, I also stop walking. Monika turns to face me, adopting a thoughtful expression. After a moment, realization seems to wash over her. I see. Well, you don't have to talk about it if you don't want to, but I'm here if you need anything. Same for you, in fact. I don't think you answered my question, Monika, about why you're here. You've grown more insightful since you first joined the club, you know? Although I guess that makes sense, given how you kind of have read between the lines with Natsuki. Honestly, don't worry about me. I just wanted to talk with you for a while. We don't get to do much these days. That's true. You've always been super busy. And now that I'm busy with a job myself, well, it's just to say our schedules really conflict. On that note though, how's the club doing? A wry smile passes over Monika's face. It's seen better days if I'm honest. The ones with you in them, of course. I chuckle. I'm sure, but that's not really what I'm asking. Sayori's been telling me that a few meetings have been cancelled lately. Monika winces a little. I really wish she wouldn't. I know she means well, but there's no point in bothering you with all that. It's not like you can do anything about it. It's just a little less lively without you and Natsuki. Natsuki was always the really loud one of the group, so it's more quiet without her. Not that literature is a particularly loud subject, haha. Still, it's a lot more empty with only 3 members in the club. Monika, I'm sorry I can't be around anymore. No, you're fine. You're fine, Mark. Real life takes precedence over fun things. And it's not like Yuri, Sayori and I don't get along. It's just less reason for the literature club to exist, you know? We've made our way from the store to a nearby park through the course of our chat. Honestly, this is really nice, just to chat like this. However, I can't help but continue to wonder why Monika's here. I stop to lean on the railing, admiring how different the park looks when it's dark and illuminated by the park lamps. Hey, Monika? She follows suit, joining me by the railing. Do you ever wonder what it would be like to fly? Like, not just in a plane, but like a bird? To fly away from all your troubles, all the people? Even the smallest of insects could leave their worries behind in an instant, but us? We're stuck to deal with life, and all of the consequences of our actions come to bear on us, one way or another. We're all like this together. We're all in this together, whether we like it or not, simply because we can't fly. How poetic, Mark. Reminds me of a poem Natsuki wrote before. Something about how eagles can fly, but people can only try. Sounds like something she would write, haha. Looks like the literature club's really rubbed off on you. To be honest, I've kinda missed reading your poems, haha. High praise coming from the master of words herself. Monika elbows me lightly in the ribs. You've gotten better at writing. Of course, I learned from the best there is. Monika pauses and looks at me, seemingly scanning my features. You know, I can see why Natsuki's insecure in your relationship. What do you mean? Don't tell me you're totally clueless. Remember Valentine's Day? For a moment, I'm taken aback by embarrassment. Natsuki told you about that? Well, she kind of ranted about it in the club a bit. Oh jeez. Just so you know, we did talk about it a bit. So you've never had a serious conversation about it? We did, but it turned into an argument that ended with her leaving. And then some other stuff came up that was more important than that incident, so... Understatement of the century there. Monika sighs, crossing her arms. Alright, I get that life can get in the way of things. I know that full well. You should still take the time you should still take the time one day to talk to her about these things though. Okay, okay. Now you're sounding like my mom right now with all the talk about communication. That's how you know I'm giving you good advice. You do know why she felt insecure as your girlfriend, right? Yeah, of course. After all, Natsuki explained it all to me at the time. She felt like I was prioritizing Sayori over her. On the one day I should have done the opposite. That's right. Although it varies, most people differentiate their romantic relationship from their platonic ones through exclusivity. Exclusivity, there we go. Exclusivity when it comes to spending time alone together, being intimate together, you name it. And it's pretty clear that Natsuki is the sort of person who values exclusivity a lot. I'm not saying that you shouldn't have any female friends just because you have a girlfriend. You just need to talk with Natsuki to hash out all the appropriate boundaries you need to set. Well, I would, but Monika winces. Ah, sorry Mark. I forgot you guys broke up. Hold on, we're not broken up, we're just on a break. I avoid Monika's gaze, well aware of the desperation that is just seeped into my voice. I see. All the more reason to think about what happened before in your relationship, right? Guess so. There's one thing I don't get though. You said she values exclusivity. Exclusivity. I still struggle with the words apparently. And I definitely get that vibe from her. But isn't being protective and caring and stuff all part of that? That's what I thought. But when I tried to tell Natsuki that I always protect her, she pushed me away. Mark, remember how I told you to dial back on the hero complex? Yeah? Suddenly Natsuki's voice rings through my head. Savior complex, guardian angel. That's how she thinks I see our relationship. But to be honest, how much can I honestly refute that? I love her, I really do, but I do feel obligated to protect her from everything. Aha. I really should have taken your words to heart, boy. That's what I thought. Of course. I don't have all the details, but from what you two have told me, and judging from Natsuki's personality, I'm guessing that Natsuki doesn't feel respected most of the time. She definitely has a complex about being weak. And I don't think feeling like she constantly needs to be protected by others is helping matters. Think about it. Wouldn't you hate being told that you're too weak to even protect yourself properly? I know you never said anything like that, but that's the implication. Monika's words suddenly seemed to click the puzzle pieces in place in my mind. Yeah, but when I tried to do that, the entire fucking literature club just disappeared. Because everyone left. Because randomly I had a fucking falling out with Sayori somehow. That just fell out of nowhere. And then I started to work more. Even though I said that I wasn't going. Even though I made the deliberate choice not to do that. And then the entire club just fell apart. Because nobody was coming there anymore. Except for Yuri and Monika. Okay, so I guess since they're talking about Sayori, I guess I need to go back to the Valentine's Day thing, choose not to defend Sayori even though I really don't want to, and then once that other option comes along, don't pay her the money, but just, don't pay. Don't give her all the money. Yeah, okay. I guess that's the correct way to go then. Now that I think about it, Natsuki's dad, she probably has a really bad perception of relationships, given that her dad, the one person who was supposed to care for her, turned out to be the most hurtful one of all. And if her dad is constantly making her feel weak, well, she probably hates being seen as weak by other people even more. Always being told that she needs to be protected isn't going to do anything but make her feel worse about herself. Thanks for talking to me about this, Monika. I think I actually get things now, more than before, I mean. Glad I could help, Mark. Honestly, it feels really nice to be able to help my club members. It makes me feel better as a club president. Speaking of club duties, did you look for me to talk about the club with? Monika turns to face me in surprise. It's at this moment that I suddenly realize just how well her features glimmer in the moonlight. I'd always known just how attractive Monika is, but right now she's the epitome of grace. It honestly makes me a little uncomfortable. I guess there's nothing else we talk about, huh? She sighs, leaning deeper into the railing. Mike, do you know why I created the literature club? Because you didn't like the debate club? No, I enjoyed debating, but that's not it. I created the literature club to give people a safe place to do something that interests them. And to do something they actually care about. Something that makes them happy. The club isn't just to give me an ego or to give me full control of a club. I never said that. No, you haven't, but sometimes I feel like I did do it all for myself. You? Huh? I still run through the argument Natsuki and I had sometimes, thinking about what she said about me and what I had to say to her. To be honest, I know that I definitely had at least one ulterior motive in creating the club though. I originally wanted people who joined to have a place they could turn to forget about their troubles for a little while. To give them solace and comfort, for even just a small part of their day. Oh, I think I get what you meant. The need for a sanctuary applies to you too, right? You picked up on that, huh? She looks down at the weeds below, a pensive expression on her face. Do you want to talk about it? Monika sighs again. It looks like she might finally be on the verge of opening up. That depends. Can you keep a secret? Of course. You answered that without thinking. How can I trust that? She gives me a genuine smile. I think I understand what she means. I'll play along. If you tell me something you don't want anyone else to know, I'll make sure I'll tell a single soul for as long as I live. Scout's honor. You're not a scout. Doesn't mean I'm not honorable like one. We laugh for a while, just enjoying each other's company. Finally, she pauses, and the somber mood returns once again. Well, since you're sworn to secrecy... She takes a deep breath. I'm pretty open about the fact that I have cram school right after the club. Along with class rep duties and tennis practice before school, right? Geez, I never realized how much that was until you said it all like that. Yeah, you see why I wanted the sanctuary from the busyness of life. But the thing is, my parents don't even know that I'm in the literature club right now. They still think I'm in the debate club. What? But don't they know that all the stress from your extracurriculars is insane? I'm sure they do have some idea, but they think I'm more than capable of handling it. And I guess I'm used to it, but I've been getting more and more burnt out. So why don't you tell them and quit some of your activities? Monika stares at me in disbelief. Are you kidding me? I can't just say that to my parents. They pretty much demand nothing short of perfection. Yeah, you see, that's what I thought. Yeah, it's pretty terrible, but at the same time, I'm grateful that they provide so many opportunities for me. Yeah, they just like. Sayori and Natsuki's dad is abusive because he gets drunk and whatever, but Monika's parents do the same, but just because they have an image of how they want her to turn out, and then when she does something that doesn't match that image, she's like, like, not every parent would pay tennis equipment in cram school. So I feel like I need to keep up my grades and everything because I owe them everything. Damn, Monika. I'm sorry you have to go through that. I'm not quite sure of what to say. Suffice it to say, the subject is beyond my pay grade. You could always try talking to a teacher about it. Maybe, I don't know. More than ever, I'm glad Monika has the literature club to rely on. Now it feels even worse that the literature club dissolved in the other ending. I can see why the club means so much to you, though. It gives you a chance to unwind. There wasn't a club like it, so I needed to make one. That makes a lot of sense. Have you ever tried talking to your parents though? Mark, it's really hard to describe to someone who has a loving and supportive mom. It's just really complicated. I know they probably just want what's best for me. Even when it makes you this stressed? It will work out in time. Anyway, about the club. Let me guess, the club is getting too much for you to handle and you're stressing out over what should be a simple task? Something like that. Why don't you ask Sayori to take over? There we go, sorry. I was waiting for that one for a while. You know why I can't do that? She's a lot better than you give her credit for. That's not what I mean. It's more that she's not going to want the responsibility. She's got too much on her plate already. And I never want to put her through this. So what other choice do we have? Close the club? Monika looks horrified at my suggestion. Mark, how could you even suggest that? But after a moment, she sighs once again. Perhaps it isn't too far off from what she's already thought of. Well, what do you suggest? It's not a problem that can be solved with just one solution, I feel. Also, if you don't want to give Sayori extra responsibility, why not Yuri? Yuri is by far the most responsible person in the club. And, you know, Yuri doesn't have, well, everybody thinks Yuri doesn't have too much on her plate, of course. Because Yuri has kept her problems extremely secret from everyone. So, you know, nobody knows what's going on in her life. You know, Yuri is also a bit older than everyone else, and she's more calm and acts more adult-like, so I think Yuri would be the better person if you don't want to burden Sayori with that responsibility. I think Yuri would be a perfect choice. Why is everybody ignoring that Yuri still exists? The fuck? The club isn't a problem, I can handle the paperwork, but it's just... we've been getting nowhere in the past 6 months. If I'm honest, the club hasn't grown, but shrunk. You've been stagnating, Mark. And with that, I can't help but feel alone. I know it sounds stupid, because we're still meeting, but it's not the same. Now I can understand that feeling. What we need is new members, right? I'll talk to my friends at school, see if any of them might be willing to join. And, just between you and me, I've asked for less hours. Don't tell Natsuki, I don't want her worrying about me. I'll be able to rejoin the club at the start of the new year, which is only a few weeks away. I'll do whatever I can to get our numbers up, alright? Monika looks at me, up and down. It almost feels like she's sizing me up. Mark, this isn't your problem, or your fault. You do know that, right? But that doesn't mean I don't appreciate the help. Just keep this between us, alright? I did promise. You can trust me, Monika. You know, I'm really starting to believe that. Thanks for the talk. I do feel a lot better with that off my chest. And look how long I've kept you. I'll have to get home before I get in too much trouble too. Don't worry about it. I'm more than happy to help. Just remember what we talked about, alright? Natsuki's not wrong to feel the way she does. I know, I'm just hoping I can fix things in the end. With that, Monika waves, jogging down the path. I start to head home before turning back for a moment. Man, I can't help but grin a bit. Even Monika has hang-ups, eh? Has her hang-ups. Not that my opinion has lessened of her, of course. She's just more human than I ever realized. As I start to walk away, my phone goes off. Monika? Thanks again, I really appreciate our talk. As unexpected as it was. Also, Sayori's planning a meetup at her place at the end of next week, if she hasn't told you already. Hope to see you there. Yeah, I'll be there for sure. That's when I can tell Natsuki about my plan for work, if this all goes well. Okay. Is this all gonna turn out to be super awesome, or is this all gonna turn out to be super terrible? Well, nothing like a doorbell to jolt you out of a blissful slumber. Hi, Sayori. Good morning, Mark. Good morning, Sayori. Looks like I'm not the only non-morning person. Morning, huh? What time is it? It's 8:30. Well, that explains why I'm so sleepy. Wait, but if it's so early, what are you doing here? Mark, did you forget? About... the party, silly! The Literature Club party! Literature Club party? Oh right, I almost forgot that was today. Why did we agree to do it so early in the morning? Well, we wanted to go to lunch originally, but everyone was busy in the afternoon. That's when Monika suggested we should have breakfast together, like the Breakfast Club. But we're all having pancakes and toast in my house. Now that you mention it, I do remember Monika texting me about all of this. Guess I forgot. I shrugged my shoulders. Breakfast does sound good right about now, to be honest. Let me take a shower and I'll be right over, okay? Okay, see you soon. See you soon, Sayori. Sayori starts towards her house, and as I close the door and walk back upstairs into my bedroom. Despite my eyes being fixated on the bed, I start unbuttoning my pajamas and reach for my regular clothes. At least a nice hot shower should wake me up. As I go through my usual cleaning routines, I can't help but feel excited for the party. There's a whole book's worth of reasons why I'm excited, but seeing Natsuki definitely takes the top spot. It's only been 3 weeks since we initially broke up, and it's been killing me that I haven't been able to see her. But my chance has finally arrived. Today will be my chance to try and get back together with Natsuki. So yeah, looking forward to it. I finish up my shower, change into fresh clothes and head downstairs into the kitchen. Knowing Sayori, she'll most likely have made hot chocolate or something for everyone already. That's great and all, but at the current moment I want coffee. I decide to brew a small cup and put it in one of Dad's old travel bags. Coffee in hand, I hand over to Sayori's house. Hello everyone. Hi Mark. Oh hey. You here for the party? You bet. Where's everyone else? Not here yet, duh. Monika just texted me. She said she's on her way. Cool. I gestured towards the door. So, we're gonna stand around here all day or we're gonna go inside? Yeah, we're going. We sit down on the couch as Sayori heads back into the kitchen. I take a sip of my coffee. So, how have you been? I've been doing alright. The shop's been doing good recently, which is a huge weight off my dad's back. Oh really? That's awesome news. She nods her head. Oh, before I forgot to tell you, with everything going smoothly now, I've been working less. Really? What a coincidence, I was just about to tell you the same thing. Wait, really? Yeah, absolutely. My boss hired another cashier, so we're going to be training off shifts now. I can't believe my gamble's actually paying off. It'll be nice to have more free time. Yeah. Natsuki? Remember how you and I... Who wants hot chocolates? Sayori rushes into the living room with a kettle that I assumed is full of hot chocolate. Natsuki looks at me, clearly waiting for me to finish my sentence. We'll talk later, sorry. I turn to Sayori. I'll have some. Great, how about you, Natsuki? Natsuki shoots me an annoyed look before sighing. Yeah, sure. Awesome. Sayori walks to our side of the couch, kettle and mugs in hand. Natsuki and I watch as he fills up 3 mugs with hot chocolate before putting the kettle down on the table. Thanks, Sayori. Of course, breakfast isn't complete without hot chocolate. I'd have to agree. Sayori sits down next to me and shuffles uncomfortably. She's sitting a good foot away from me on the sofa, starkly contrasting with Natsuki, who is considerably closer. But even so, it's not like Natsuki is that close to me either. It honestly makes me feel a little lonely. I'm surrounded by people I care about, but... You okay, Mark? You seem a little spaced out. I'm the one who's supposed to have my head in the clouds. Huh? Oh yeah, fine. I'm fine. That's the least convincing thing I've heard since... Since when? This one time Mark bought us ice cream. Ah, I remember it now. You mean the time I dropped mine and you offered some of yours? Yeah, that's the one. Man, I haven't thought about that in ages. What happened again? Well, you said you didn't want to try a new flavor, but you really just wanted me to have it all for myself. Oh yeah. I just couldn't bear to tear you away from your sweets. You always had the brightest smiles whenever you ate good food. I laugh as Sayori forces out a vaguely uncomfortable chuckle. So, were you guys out together recently or something? Shoot, I could practically kick myself. This must sound pretty incriminating to Natsuki. No wonder Sayori's been so uncomfortable. She probably picked up on it way before I did. No, this was years ago, back when we were kids. I'm sure you two have really funny moments together too, right? So Yuri looks at Natsuki with a meek smile on her face. Knowing her, she's likely beating herself up over starting this conversation. I can virtually see her scrambling to find something to say in her mind. But what is that to say? No matter how hard I rack my brain, I can't seem to think of anything either. However, before we can find words, Natsuki speaks up. I'm going to the bathroom. She gets up and walks out of the living room, leaving Sayori and me behind. I take a deep breath. It's all I can do to prevent myself from panicking. Glancing over at Sayori, I can see that she's biting her lip hard enough to leave them white. Mark? I shouldn't have hosted this. That wasn't what I expected her to say. What? But you were so excited for today. Yeah, I know. I was just being selfish. Oh, come on. You aren't being selfish at all. But here I am, knowing that I was the one who drove a wedge between you and Natsuki. I'm always the one who rubs our friendship in Natsuki's face. How can I call myself your Natsuki's friend when all I do is make you feel bad about yourselves? It'd be better for everyone if I wasn't here. That's not true, Sayori. Sayori, you're the best friend that anyone could have, and it definitely wouldn't be the same without you there. I mean, even now you're being so caring that you're putting everyone else before yourself. And as for Natsuki and me, we didn't do anything. You didn't do anything. We're fine, I promise. Sayori looks at me, her eyes glistering with tears. If you say so. I know you won't lie to me, Mark. That stings. It's like she knows. I know full well what happened on Valentine's Day drove a wedge between the three of us. And lying about it just makes it worse. Well, I need to fix this before it gets out of control, and I need Sayori's help to do that. That's how I can justify this little lie in my mind. Tell me something, Mark. I nod. Promise me I didn't hurt you two by coming over then. No, I promise. You only wanted to spend time with your friends, right? What's wrong with that? But... No buts. You didn't hurt anyone, trust me. Sayori gives me a weak smile. It's a little hard to believe when we're in this situation right now. She's got me there. Sayori. Mark, I know what I have to do. She stands up with a wavering smile. Tell the others that... That's enough, Sayori. Huh? Natsuki? Natsuki steps up from behind a corner, leading to the hallway. How long has she been listening to us? I know what you were about to do for me, Sayori, and I really appreciate it. It's a lot more than I'd be willing to do, that's for sure. I don't really know how to say this though. She shoots me a pointed look before turning to face Sayori again. You see, Mark and I... Natsuki, we're on a break, so I don't really have much to say as to what he does or says at all. Not that I did, anyway. Wait, you guys broke up? Natsuki nods. Sayori shoots me a hurt look, her lip quivering. Considering how hard she was biting it, it must hurt. But not as much as the lie I just told her. She turns back to face Natsuki. I'm sorry. It's not your fault, it was a long time coming. Right, Mark? Oh, yeah? Well, to be honest, not necessarily in the routes, but, you know, in real life, yeah. She walks over to me and elbows me in the shoulder. I can practically feel Natsuki's incredulous look in reply to my weak response. In truth, I had planned on this day going very differently, but I think this is more important to fix. Yeah, it was mutual. Then, please don't leave us. You're our friends, Sayori, alright? She looks away for a moment before turning back towards us with a smile on her face. Thanks guys, I really needed that. Again, I'm really sorry for what happened, well, for what I said back then. I just let my jealousy get in the way of all of our friendships. It was just hard, feeling like I was competing with the person who knew Mark best. Oh Natsuki, I'm really sorry I made you feel that way. I should have known. No, it's not your fault, Sayori. I should have known that there was nothing between you and Mark. I mean, Mark did end up going above and beyond for me. As she looks over at me, I can tell Natsuki's thinking about the money I gave her. So really, don't worry about it. Natsuki suddenly grins. Actually, I'd rather blame Mark for it all. I roll my eyes as Natsuki lightly elbows me again. Well, I can't argue with that. The atmosphere clears once again. Natsuki takes a seat, this time next to Sayori. I get up to stretch my legs, taking a deep breath. I never once intended to get between those two. I just hope that I can still salvage my plans for the day with Natsuki. Oh, someone else is here. I'll get the door. I watch as Sayori rushes to the door and opens it. Hi everyone. Hi Monika. Hey Monika. Oh, Yuri's here too. Hi Yuri. Good morning, Sayori. Come on in. I just made hot chocolate. Do you also have coffee by any chance? Or tea, if it's not too much of a burden. Of course, I'll go make some right now. You guys can sit anyway, I'll be right back. Sayori rushes off to the kitchen as Monika and Yuri sit down on the couch opposite from Natsuki and I. Morning everyone. Good morning Mark, it's been a while, hasn't it? Yeah, I guess so. How's the club been? Boring. Really? You didn't seem bored on Friday. It was our book talk day. Oh, speaking of those, I saw those posters you guys posted. They look pretty professional. Oh, thank you, Mark. I designed them myself. They didn't seem to work though. Natsuki and Yuri both nod their heads. No one showed up. I even made cookies. Really? You didn't say anything about cookies on the poster from what I remember. Maybe that has something to do with it. That's quite possible. Although I get the feeling that after the festival, the literature club just became a joke. No one takes us seriously. Yeah, that's unfortunate. Sorry to hear that. I just wish people would be open-minded. Like you, Mark. Haha, thanks. By the way, are you coming back next year? Planning on it, yeah. Ah, that's good to hear. The club doesn't really feel complete without you. The girls nod their heads in agreement. Ah, thanks guys. Alright, I'm back. Monika, here's your coffee. Sayori hands Monika a large mug filled with black coffee. I don't know what you like in your coffee, so I just made normal coffee. That's fine, I like my coffee black anyway. Natsuki leans over to me and whispers in my ear. You were right, only psychopaths drink black coffee. Oh yeah. Yeah, that's right. We made that, but we said that when we were in the library together. Way ahead of you, Natsuki. And Yuri, here's your tea. So Yuri hands Yuri a large teacup. I only had green tea, I hope that's okay. Of course, green tea is one of my favorites. Thank you very much, Sayori. Of course. Natsuki teleports to the other side. Sayori teleports to the other side. I slide over, allowing Sayori to sit down next to me. So, what did I miss? We were discussing how Mark will be returning next year. You are? That's great! Out of nowhere, she wraps her arms around me and pulls me in for a hug. I hear Monika and Yuri chuckling as Sayori lets go of me. Natsuki on their hand looks irritated. That doesn't really surprise me. I can't wait till next year. We're gonna finally be third years. Speak for yourself, I'm only a first year, remember? Ah, that's right. That means you're gonna be president when we all leave, Natsuki. Yep. I'm gonna turn it into a manga club. You're gonna turn it into a manga club after I leave? Just to spite you. Despite the smiles, I can tell Natsuki isn't exactly thrilled with being left behind, so I turn to look at her. I know that I can't help it, but I don't want you to be the only member of the club left. Why is Natsuki saying this? That I should be saying this, right? Look, I know school is important and all, but But this time, I'm pretty confident in saying that I can read her expressions well. I think I know where she's going with this, but she can't be right. As fun as it would be to run a manga club, I think we all know I'm not the leadership type. This club started with us, and by this point I know I'm powerless. There isn't anything I can say to stop the train of thought Natsuki's riding. I shoot Monika a panicked look. Please don't let her finish that sentence. Yuri starts to open her mouth, but Monika beats her to the punch. Natsuki, I think you make a great president for her manga club. You're passionate, competitive, and charismatic. I can't wait to hear all of the awesome stories you come up with. Yuri timidly adds to Monika's encouragement. If you're half as competitive as you are in the club at the moment, then you'd be the most passionate person in the room. I'm sure the new members would enjoy your ideas. Yeah. And you can make cupcakes for them every day. But despite all of the kind words, Natsuki shakes her head. It just wouldn't be the same. I've gotten so used to seeing you guys after school every day that it just feels weird to see different faces. It would be like a band that broke up, but only one guy continued with 4 different people. Either way, I don't want that. We can't change your feelings, Natsuki, and we aren't trying to. But we just want you to be happy. We aren't all there is to high school, you know? Natsuki mutters something under her breath, but I'm close enough to catch it. You might as well be. Hearing that, I couldn't sit in silence any longer. Natsuki, she turns to me a little surprised. If you want, I'll hold off on university for a year. I can stick around here and pick up more hours after I graduate. That way I can see you every evening, alright? What? All of the girls look at me in shock. All except Sayori All except Sayori. I share a quick knowing smile with her. No way, you can't hold off on your future because of me. I won't let you. Nope, I've made up my mind. You're going to have to put up with me for a long time. For a long time yet, you hear me? I know Natsuki sees through my bluff, Sayori did the moment I said it. Besides, Mom would kill me if I held off uni for a year because of a girl. Probably. Though she became more relaxed lately. She'd be pretty disappointed though. That's what I want to think at least, but deep down I know it's no bluff. I would follow through in a heartbeat if it made Natsuki happy. But none of that matters. I don't want Natsuki to drop out, and I'll do whatever I can to help her. You're not staying here, I can handle myself. That wasn't what I was meaning anyway. It's not like I'm dropping school or anything. I just think that the club is probably best left behind when you leave. I'll find another club to join, don't worry. I don't know what to say. It feels almost like a betrayal to our legacy, to close the club. But at the same time, I can see exactly where she's coming from. How could it possibly be the same after all we'd been through? It reminds me of an anime Natsuki and I watched earlier in the year about a group of high school friends who all quit the club when the 3rd year graduated in order to preserve the memories they had made. It was Sayori who finally broke the long silence. Well, there isn't a manga club at school anymore. Why don't you actually start a manga club instead? You joked about it before, but if you don't want to be president, you could be vice president and find someone else to lead it for you. You could use the same asset as we did, but completely rebrand. Change rooms, everything. Besides, after what happened with the culture festival, that might be a good idea. It was Sayori who knew how to state something so obvious that yet compelling. If Natsuki was surrounded by like-minded people, she might have a fun year even without us. Natsuki takes a moment to mull the idea over. So you guys really wouldn't be upset if I turned the club into a manga club? There's a softness, a rare kind of vulnerability in her voice. One that I've rarely heard before. Monika looks pointedly at Yuri. They know what needs to be said. There's no way around it, this time. Yuri glances away, attempting to hide behind her long hair. I think you know how we all feel about it, Natsuki. Monika smiles at her, before clearing her throat. Her statement was pretty clearly directed at Yuri. Reluctantly, Yuri sighs, and turns toward Natsuki. There's a small smile on her lips. Well, Natsuki, I don't mind what you do with the club. It's within your... oh Jesus. Prerogative to continue the club's legacy however you'd like it, after all. That's not what I meant, Yuri, and you know it. Consider this a favor for me. Yuri grimaces, glancing around the room. Natsuki shakes her head. I can tell she's content with the response Yuri has already given. If she doesn't want to say it, it's fine. It means nothing if you don't believe it. No, it's long overdue. And I'll only say this once, alright? Manga. Her voice trails off. Could you repeat that? I didn't catch it. I don't mean to tease Yuri, but this is important and she knows it. Manga is literature. I've never seen someone more strained to say 3 words before in my life. She gives a sideways glance to Monika before turning to Natsuki. Try as she might to hide it, there's a smile forming on Yuri's lips. It is a literature club, and I suppose, from an objective standpoint, drawings on the page with words could be considered a form of entertainment, that's all. I honestly don't think Natsuki heard Yuri after that first statement, though. She's practically bouncing in her seat. I can't believe it! I can be part of a manga club, and Yuri admitted I was right, all in one day! It takes a few minutes for her excitement to bubble away, and she looks at me. I just can't believe how cute she is. I'm not cute, but I didn't say anything. You were thinking it, weren't you? And can't deny that. Laughter fills the room. Hey, at least we aren't going that far. We all come to visit and throw parties just like this one. We can have a literature club outside of school, right? No, that sounds stupid. Despite her words, she rolls her eyes and pinches my cheek. That's a wonderful idea. We could hold our meetings whenever we're home. We can easily coordinate our breaks from uni, considering not all of us are going. Of course. If everyone wants to continue the club, then that sounds like a wonderful idea. I'd love to come along. Yeah, well, you don't really need to call it a club. You could just like a group of, like we all have like a strong bond with each other. So of course we could like, as a group of friends, continue after school. Yeah, we can even host it here. I'll make snacks and drinks for everyone. If you don't eat them all first. Alright, you can make the snacks. Well, hey, don't just volunteer me for stuff. But Natsuki, everyone loves your cupcakes. Besides, I can leave my tea set here, and I can make tea for everyone each time we meet. Yeah, see? It's just meant to be. You're just saying that because that means less work for you, Sayori. You say that like it's a bad thing. As I chuckle at Sayori, the 3 of them get to planning. Monika just watches, smiling. From there, the conversation shifts to exams and other school-related things. I sit back and just listen to the girls talk, sipping my coffee and hot chocolate. Ah, life is good. Thank you so much for having me, Sayori. Of course, have a good day, Yuri. As do you. Thanks for hosting this, Sayori. I had a great time. So did I. Good to hear. I'll talk to you later, Sayori. Have a good day. You too, Monika. Monika walks off, leaving just Sayori, Natsuki and I on the porch. Thanks for helping me clean up, guys. The kitchen was really messy. Not a problem. I've cleaned up more than my fair share of messy kitchens. Kitchens, yeah. I didn't read that last word. You must be a cleaning expert. Well, she's better than me. Not like that's saying much. I'll see you guys later. Bye. Bye. See ya. Sayori heads back inside, leaving Natsuki and I alone. Natsuki starts walking and I follow her. So. Awkwardness fills the fresh spring air. Listen, I'm just gonna be blunt. Do you want to pick up where we left off, dating-wise? I don't know. Suddenly I feel the ground crumbling under my feet. To be honest, I hadn't been thinking about the possibility that she'd say no. Oh. We're both quiet for a moment. Natsuki, can I just ask one question? What? Do you still have any feelings for me? Another moment of silence. Of course I do, Mark. I'd be lying if I said I didn't miss you. But things are just different. So then, well, it's fine. I definitely don't want to force you into anything. I'd love if we could give us another shot, but I'd also hate it if you felt obligated to agree. Natsuki bites her lip, fidgeting with the sleeve. You don't need to give me an answer right away. It's only natural to want to take your time with this decision. After all, it's kind of a big one. Yeah. Mark, I'm sorry, but I can't just make up my mind on the spot, especially not for this. I think I need some time to think about things. Don't worry, I get it. It's only to be expected. No pressure, whatever happens, I'll be happy if you're happy. Okay, thanks for understanding. Sometimes I think you're too nice, Mark. Huh? I don't know, you're just so accommodating, even when you have your own things going on. It's something I've always appreciated about you. Oh, thanks. I try my best, you know. Yeah, no matter what, you'll at least stay my friends, right? Of course, Natsuki, always. Good. I'll stay your friend too. Well, I can't exactly be your friend without you being my friend too, right? Shut up, you know what I mean. Yeah, I guess so. Anyway, I guess I gotta get going. Thanks for talking to me today. Don't mention it. It was really nice talking to you too. I'll keep in touch? Yeah, we can always text. She waves goodbye and heads to the opposite direction as I walk back up to my door. I take a deep breath. Well, that didn't go as expected. Guess my expectations were too high. Of course, it'd be hard for things to immediately get back to normal. Major reality check there. For now, all I can do is hope. Maybe I can drown out my thoughts through the work and the literature club. Although Natsuki is gonna be at the club too. Man, maybe this is for the better though. If we weren't going to work, it'd be better to not keep trying. Natsuki deserves better. Better than me at least. What? Where the hell does that come from? It's no use. I can't help but feel like I'm embodying sour grapes here. What the hell am I even doing here? God damn it. Hey Mark, what are you still standing outside for? Huh? Oh, no reason, just thinking I suppose. Well, you look like you're thinking pretty hard. Yeah, I suppose I am. Do you want some company? Right now, having to bounce my thoughts off would be nice. And I trust Sayori, more than anyone. Yeah, that'd be appreciated. Wow, okay, this goes on for significantly longer than I thought, because when you chose the other option, a few days later the club's gone and bye. Like, and when you choose this option, it's like, okay. Okay, everyone. Alright, so I'll end it off here. Hope you almost enjoyed it. Click the like button if you did. Subscribe to join the Roman army, and I'll see you next one. See you later, Romans. Valete.